Hey, this is James, and in this video, we're going to break down Book 2, Verse 3 of the Meditations on Marcus Aurelius. And we'll start it right now. Cue the intro. Even though I would consider myself to be a very avid follower of Stoic philosophy, one of the concepts that I still grapple with from time to time is this idea called Providence. And essentially how it works is that from everything that you see appearing in front of you, like it all comes from the same source and it's all divinely directed. So, and for me personally, I don't know for sure if there is like a higher being out there, but I live my life in such a way that I presuppose there is some sort of higher being, and I think Stoicism really helps to ground me in that aspect as far as trying to understand, so to speak, like how this being sort of kind of manifests itself and how it kind of directs things in the world. And you may or you may not believe it depending on like where you come from or what your belief structure is, but I think it is a really interesting idea to talk about and at least to think about and consider, because if everything isn't divinely directed, then the only other option would be that everything is just sort of random chaos. And I don't think that really quite makes a lot of sense either. So check out this verse because we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about Meditations, Book 2, Verse 3. Let's make it happen. What is divine is full of providence. Even chance is not divorced from nature, from the inweaving and enfolding of things governed by providence. Everything proceeds from it, and then there is necessity in the needs of the whole world, of which you are a part. Whatever the nature of the world of the whole does, and whatever serves to maintain it, is good for every part of nature. The world is maintained by change, in the elements and in the things that they compose. That should be enough for you. Treat it as an axiom. Discard your thirst for books so that you won't die in bitterness, but in cheerfulness and truth, grateful to the gods from the bottom of your heart. Book 2, Verse 3. Now, as you can see, Marcus Aurelius had a very deep appreciation and a deep reverence for the gods, or what you would call like in modern day society, such as like God or like Allah, or anything that kind of relates to some sort of like this higher being. I mean, the Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius in particular, seem to have special reverence to the divine, and he really felt like the divine played a very active role in how the world operates. So when you hear where it's like also he uses nature as well, where nature is pretty much just whole synonymous with the idea of God, and how God pretty much goes and really cares for like how the world unfolds, and it's something that us reasoning beings can really build a very strong connection to. And even when you look at something like chance, right? Like chance as something like rolling a dice or like flipping a coin. Even these chance encounters or chance events that happen still fall within like the greater scheme of like the universe and nature and stuff. Like he really believes, and it really exemplifies in this passage, that nothing really like happens by accident. Everything has like some sort of a divine unfoldment, and things don't just happen, things happen very just. And you could really just stop and appreciate for a second like how beautiful like nature is. I really like come to appreciate the beauty behind nature and everything that you see, from like the trees like to the waterfall. I mean, there's so many like little things that really just shows like how wondrous and how powerful like the universe is. Like something just like a nature painting could really just go and exemplify that. And another thing that Marcus Aurelius touches on in his passage is this whole idea of change. And I think nothing really exemplifies the idea of change better than the four seasons, where you have the spring turning into the fall turning into winter, the winter turning back into the spring, and then the summer, and so on and so forth. There's this constant cycle that's happening in nature that we constantly see unfolding, and it just goes to show that when things are like good, it's not always going to be good. There's constantly these cycles that happen like constantly around us, and it's really up to us as reasoning beings not to so much fight against the cycles that we see happening, but really just to learn how to get into the flow with the cycles that are happening within the world that we observe around us. And last but not least, you really just want to be grateful too. Like whether or not you have grateful, whether or not you believe in some sort of higher being, you just want to be grateful for the fact that you're alive, that by some strange coincidence, like all of your ancestors met at the time that they did, that ultimately led to you being born and to you being manifested into the world. So you really just want to like just be grateful for being alive, being here in this moment, to breathe, to explore, to learn, and just not to take it for granted and stuff, because we only get really one chance at this whole life thing. So you really just want to kind of like make it count and realize that any day could be like the last day. It could be the final day. So always be grateful and always have that level of gratitude. So guys, hope you really got a lot of value out of this meditation that we broke down today. Stay tuned for the next one coming next week. We're going to be talking about Meditations Book 2 verse 5 for those of you that want to read it on the head. So make sure you take a look at that if you're kind of like one of those reader on the headers. But if not, just stay tuned because we're going to be back here next week and we're going to break it down. So I want to end off with like a little joke just to kind of lighten the mood a bit. Why do Marxists only ever drink horrible tea? Think about that for a second. Why do Marxists only ever drink horrible tea? You know why? Because all proper tea is Steph. Pretty good, huh? Alright. Probably don't have much of a future in comedy or anything like that, but just want to share that little joke I found with you on the interwebs. Guys, if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also tap the bell icon so that way you'll be part of the notification icon as soon as the next video drops. This is James Rittenhouse from JWN. Hope you guys got a lot of value out of this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.